Picture this, you're living in 1070s England. Your language is dying, your land has been stolen, and a foreign king sits on your throne. What if I told you one man, a forgotten hero, rose from the ashes of conquest to strike fear into the heart of William the Conqueror himself? Prepare yourself, for this is the saga of Hereward the Wake. The year is 1070. 4 years have passed since the thunderous clash at Hastings, since King Harold Godwin's son fell, and the Norman tide swept over England. But while castles now pierced the English sky and Norman French echoed in the halls of power, the spirit of defiance still simmered beneath the surface, a low, burning ember waiting for a spark. That spark came in the form of a man named Hereward, an Anglo-Saxon nobleman. Exiled in his youth for his wild, untamable nature, Hereward returned to a homeland he barely recognized. His family lands in Lincolnshire, once proud and sprawling, had been seized by a greedy Norman lord. His brother, wrongfully imprisoned, was dead. His family shamed. The very air, once English, now tasted of foreign steel and oppression. Hereward was a warrior forged in the fires of foreign campaigns, a veteran of battles in Flanders and Germany. He was cunning, fierce, and possessed an unwavering loyalty to his people. His heart burned with an incandescent rage that mirrored the fury of a nation. He would not stand by as his heritage was obliterated. Word spread like wildfire through the downtrodden English countryside. A Saxon lord, a true Englishman, had returned to fight. From the shadowed depths of ancient forests, from the quiet desperation of ravaged villages, men began to flock to him. Farmers, dispossessed warriors, even disillusioned monks, all who yearned for freedom gathered around Hereward. He became their rallying cry, their last, desperate hope. His first acts were swift, brutal, and deeply symbolic. He ambushed isolated Norman patrols, seizing their supplies, liberating English prisoners. He struck at the very heart of their imposed order, dismantling the new Norman abbot of Peterborough and claiming the abbey's riches to fund his growing rebellion, treasures that, he argued, were stolen English patrimony anyway. Each victory, however small, was a resounding echo of defiance, a challenge to the conqueror's iron grip. Hereward's fame grew, attracting more and more desperate souls. He knew he needed a stronghold, a place where his growing army could gather, train, and strike. He found it in the unlikeliest of places, the Isle of Ely. A natural fortress, surrounded by the treacherous, misty fens of Cambridgeshire, Ely was an island of dry land amidst a vast, impassable bog, a watery labyrinth known only to the locals. It was the perfect sanctuary, a bastion of Anglo-Saxon resistance against the Norman juggernaut. From Ely, Hereward launched devastating raids, a phantom menace melting back into the mists before the Normans could retaliate. His men, intimately familiar with the fens, became masters of guerrilla warfare, using the environment to their deadly advantage. They booby-trapped hidden paths, lured Norman knights into deep bogs, and vanished like specters into the reeds. King William, the mighty conqueror, was not accustomed to such defiance. He had broken kings, ravaged armies, and forged an empire. Yet, this Wake, this troublesome English outlaw, continued to mock his authority from his watery redoubt. William was enraged. He would crush this rebellion, no matter the cost. But before we continue, if you're enjoying this tale of defiance and desperate hope against overwhelming odds, smash that subscribe button. We bring you stories like this every single day. William assembled an immense force, a host of Norman knights, mercenaries, and foot soldiers, determined to lay siege to Ely. But the fens proved to be a formidable adversary. His heavy cavalry, accustomed to open fields, sank into the unforgiving mud. Siege engines, built with immense effort, would collapse into the mire before they could even reach Ely's makeshift fortifications. The Normans tried building a causeway, a massive wooden bridge spanning the fens, a testament to William's engineering prowess and relentless will. Day after day, hundreds of men toiled, felling trees, hauling stone, attempting to bridge the impassable. Hereward's men watched from their island, launching arrows, sabotaging efforts, and burning parts of the wooden structure as fast as it could be built. William even brought a sorceress to curse Hereward and his men, placing her atop a siege tower, but the tale goes that Hereward set fire to the surrounding reeds, enveloping the tower in smoke and flame, causing the tower to collapse and the witch to fall to her death. The siege dragged on, months turning into a year. The Norman army, bogged down in the desolate fens, grew restless, sick, and demoralized. William himself grew increasingly frustrated. Hereward, despite dwindling supplies, continued to hold out, his spirit unbroken. It seemed Ely was truly impregnable. Then came the betrayal. The monks of Ely Abbey, weary of the relentless siege, their sanctuary ravaged, their stores depleted, saw no end to the suffering. They approached King William with a desperate offer. They would reveal a secret, forgotten path through the fens, a hidden causeway that would allow his forces to bypass Hereward's strongest defenses. All they asked for was the king's mercy and the preservation of their abbey. William, seeing a chance to finally end the costly standoff, agreed. Under the cloak of night, guided by the traitors, Norman forces silently advanced along the secret path. They fell upon Ely's unsuspecting defenders from an unguarded flank. The element of surprise was complete. The final battle for Ely was short and brutal. Hereward and his loyal band fought with the ferocity of cornered wolves, but they were outnumbered, outflanked, and exhausted. The dream of an Anglo-Saxon resurgence from Ely was shattered. Amidst the chaos, the burning buildings, and the clashing steel, Hereward, the indomitable rebel, refused to surrender. With a handful of his most trusted warriors, he cut a bloody path through the bewildered Norman ranks, fighting his way to a hidden boat. Under the cover of the very fens that had protected him for so long, he vanished into the mists, a phantom once more, melting away from certain capture. Hereward the Wake was never truly caught. His fate remains shrouded in legend. Some say he eventually made peace with William, others that he lived out his days as an outlaw. But his name, once a whisper of hope, became a thunderous roar in the hearts of the English, a symbol of resistance against oppression, the last defiant flame of Anglo-Saxon England against the Norman tide. What would you have done in this situation? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more incredible medieval stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.